welcome to the Commercial Property Club podcast. It's amazing. This is just an amazing day. This is the very first episode of the podcast called Commercial Property Club Podcast. I'm excited to be here today. Excited to bring you the very first episode. It's an honor to be speaking and hosting this podcast. The very first episode of pod chapter. We call it pod chapter, and you're welcome to Commercial Property Club podcast. Yes, I mean Commercial Property Club podcast was started this month, and with the vision behind the fact that we want to create a forum for thought leadership in specific income property in commercial real estate for investment purposes, and we have our ultimate mission of delivering knowledge concerning this property to help inform investors actually. And that's why we came up with the slogan, at CPC we serve investors with commercial real estate knowledge. Isn't that amazing? At CPC we serve investors with commercial real estate knowledge. Basically what we're trying to say is that we're here to serve investors with good sound knowledge about commercial real estate, because we believe if you have good knowledge about what you're trying to invest in terms of commercial real estate, your income properties out there, if you have a sound knowledge about it, you're better, more informed to make that calculated decision concerning how you want to go about it. And that's what we're all about. We try to give thought leadership in that aspect of things. Today, I'm hosting this pod chapter. We call it pod chapter. Just another episode of a podcast. Like I said, Commercial Property Club live here in Texas. And having said that, having given us that insight, being the first episode as to what we do while we're doing what we're doing, just to help give insight to whoever is trying to invest in commercial real estate or trying to get an education about commercial real estate. We do our possible best. We have thought leadership in terms of specific income properties out there, apartments, senior living development, retail offices out there, and medical buildings. What have you? Several income producing properties out there. We will be taking on and talking about several aspects of commercial real estate in those regards that I mentioned just now. Without further delay, I want to dive into what I'm trying to talk about today. I'm trying to talk about being the first episode, part chapter. I'm talking about senior living development series. That's what I call it today. Practically what I'll be diving into today is got to do with topics like why senior living development. Why is it? What's it about development in senior living? And I'll also be talking about who are baby boomers in relation to senior living. We'll also be diving into visualizing senior living sector opportunities, because there are several opportunities in senior living aspect of commercial real estate. And finally, I'll also be touching on how to invest in senior living development. So without further delay, let me start. My name is Ola Ibiwoye. I'm the host of Commercial Property Club podcast. So what is senior living sector in commercial real estate? It's just an aspect of commercial real estate that involves seniors lifestyle that entails a combination of housing, personalized supportive services, and healthcare designed to meet the needs of seniors. And these are facilities in which seniors reside in, renting, and just like I said, supportive services are provided for them, and in terms of their personal support system and also their health care support system. There are several sectors, or rather divisions of senior living. I'll call them segments actually. I'll be talking about 5 segments of senior living today. And it ranges from the age-restricted apartment. That's one segment. The second that I'll be talking about is independent living aspect of things. Assisted living, memory care, skilled nursing. That's the 5th one. Now, we're talking about the segments of senior housing, which is, I'll be in between saying senior housing or senior living. It's the same thing. But under those 5 categories, just like I said, I'll be taking each one of them one by one. Now, what differs in between all these 5 segments, it's actually got to do with the choice that is driving it, the increase in acuity of residents, and also the need that they pose from one segment to another. That's what would differ them to be able to say that, okay, these are residents that belong to independent living, these are residents that belong to assisted living, and some aspect of it, these are what constitute memory care and what constitute skilled nursing. In the segmentation of these broad classes, services differ from one segment to another. You find out that not a lot of services is given to when it comes to age restricted apartment. It's just a function of elders, or rather the seniors rather, that are living in that particular facility. Some will stay as long as they might be, and mostly they will pay out of pocket by themselves, as though they are living in an apartment, but is restricted for that age range, which is mostly from 50 sometimes or 65 years old upward. Then diving into the independent living aspect of it in terms of I'm talking about the choices that drives them, the increase in acuity and the needs that they pose from one segment to another. The independent living aspect of things under senior living, those come with housekeeping. Sometimes there are transportation provided for them to do their activities out there from the same facility. Recreational, they pay privately from pocket to themselves, and their stay too takes as long as they want to stay in the facilities. As against age-restricted apartment, which has no regulation. This has little regulation. I'm talking about the independent living. They have little regulations that come with it, mostly within the state regulation, as you may have. And the next one I'll be talking about in terms of what I already said, where the points I'm focusing on, is the assisted living. Those ones are residents in those facilities would actually have more care compared to the independent living. The independent living are those seniors that can still do a lot of things by themselves. But in terms of assisted living, they need care. They privately pay also too, most times, from their pocket. And the facility is mostly state regulated very well. In fact, as far as, you have to have a state license to run that. Memory care is also an aspect that is closely monitored. You have healthcare services in which residents are closely monitored, just like it rightly reflects memory care, meaning seniors that need a lot of attention, a lot of monitoring. Also, too, state licensing is required to set up a facility like that. Skilled nursing, those are facilities in which residents also too need a lot of medical care, a lot of supervision also too. It's regulated both federally and also state level. Now, let me give a deeper insight into each of the segment bit by bit. The independent living, just like I said, these are seniors that live independently. Practically, they can do a lot of things by themselves. Just a bit of support. They just need a supportive community around them. Mostly people in the same range that they can do activities with, do mealtime with, or be in the library with, whatever the facility has to offer. They love to do activities among their age range. But these are seniors that can do things by themselves, pretty much independent, like I said. So senior having the ability to come and go and enjoy more independent style of living compared to most other aspect of senior living. As regards the assisted living aspect of things, these are seniors that need supervision, attention. So mostly you have nurses or healthcare practitioner within the facility that cater, or rather at their beckoning, to give them health services and monitor their health if there's a situation in place. The memory care aspect of senior development, these are the aspect of the facility in which you cater for residents that have memory issues, your likes of Alzheimer's, your likes of dementia. Those need constant supervision as it reflects memory care. And these kind of facilities are well staffed with medical practitioner, medical supervision. Skilled nursing facilities offer senior access to medical attention and certified nurses within the facility. There are nursing stations within the facilities these are facility built, equipped with such facilities that can cater for medical situations that need constant nursing supervision. And these are for patients that need regular health monitoring and more constant medical attention, just like I said. And this will usually provide mostly something like hospital care, but maybe on a light entry point though. So having dealt with the 5 segments that I mentioned earlier on, I want us to go on to another thing that I want us to give insight to today. Who are baby boomers in relation to senior living? Baby boomers are it's just a term to describe a person who was born between 1946 and 1965, in between those span of years. The baby boomer generation makes up a substantial portion of the world's population. If you look into the archives of census, especially in America, they represent nearly about 20% of American population. They are reinventing the wheel in retirement. They are mostly staying in senior living housing and various kinds of demand that they make to make the senior living a thriving sector in commercial real estate. Most times right now you see most facilities are developed into luxurious facilities to cater for the needs of the kinds of baby boomers that we have turning over right now in America. When we look at the demographic population of baby boomers, we'll find out that over the last 4 or 5 decades, there's been an exponential increase in terms of the population. And the projection is that it's still going to increase for the next 3, 4, 5 decades. And when you look at the projections that the increase in baby boomers is tend to, in terms of focus, going to increase for the next number of years, you begin to ask yourself that what are the things that the baby boomers need? Of course, they need high-end quality, well-designed facilities. They need a good meal menu. in facilities that they reside, convenient access for those of them that are disabled, that have challenges with their mobility, places that are safe for them, well equipped, and senior housing development that are well planned out, activities, interesting activities that will keep or rather improve the quality of life that they have left. Facilities that have well-trained medical personnel also too. Those are the things that baby boomers need right now. Excellent healthcare that is accessible. Part of many things that they're requesting for. Like I said, you know, when it comes to senior living development right now, luxurious facilities are being built to cater for the new turnovers of baby boomers that we have amongst us in America right now. Well, we're talking about senior living development, just like I said, and there are several aspects. There's an elaborate aspect of it that, you know, we've not talked about that I'm believing we can also dive into today before I wrap up today's episode. Another aspect I want us to see is the opportunities that lies in senior living, the sector. What are the opportunity? It comes across that the senior living has outperformed most asset class as far back as 2010 or maybe 2007. Yeah, that asset class has really been performing very well, and there are indicators that we can look into in the past and even forecast in the future that tells us that trend is not anywhere rounding up soon. It's tending towards increasing, actually. Like I talked about earlier on, stronger demographics is one of it. There's been an upward increase in population increase. Then also too, strong demand for that sector is good. Demand, what it means is that, you know, when I say demand in that sector, it just literally means that the units available right now that is being used is now meeting up with the demands of the turnover of seniors. So there's constant demand for units to be built. There are charts out there from several emerging market research that speaks of a strong demand that spikes up from as early as 2015, then up to 2020. That is even going to spike up to 2025, 2030, and 2035, up to 2040. So from what we can see, the demand for senior living is not winding down anytime soon at all. There are other aspects too that we can also talk about, right, when it comes to return on investment. What is it like compared to other asset class? According to records, according to charts from NCREIF, as the National Council of Real Estate Investment Fiduciary, the asset class senior living has really been outperforming your class assets like apartments, hotel, industrial, or office and retail. Senior living has really been doing very well. So when we look at all other class assets compared to the senior living class asset, senior living has really been performing very, very well. Another thing I will quickly want to address before I wind up today is how to invest in senior living development. Mostly when you want to invest in that aspect of class asset, you can approach it through the PP, private placement memorandum offering Otherwise, might refer to it as syndication, in which you pull funds from you pull funds in the same pot with investors, and you raise capital towards purchasing a project or developing a project, and that's mostly how investors will invest in senior living. There are obviously several other ways, but that's a good aspect of things, syndicating the project with other investors. That's a wonderful way of investing in senior living development, either as a general partner or as a passive partner. Whichever way you want to do it, that's a good way to do it. Overall, senior living development investing is a strategic way of building wealth over time. And there's so much knowledge in senior living. There's so much benefit in senior living and it looks like a class asset that's going to do very well for the next 10, 20, 30 years, as the forecast, the numbers are saying, from what we can see in terms of what I just talked about, demographic indicators. We see that senior living development is going to perform very well. So with that, I come to the end of my pod chapter episode today, being the first Commercial Property Club podcast episode. Like I said, it's a wonderful time with you today. I'm glad you're able to join me. Once again, join me again for another episode next time of Commercial Property Club podcast. A wonderful place to get your knowledge. Like I said, at CPC, Commercial Property Club, we serve investors with commercial real estate knowledge. And that's what we do. And that's what we intend to continue doing. Have a good one. Hope you guys have a great day. Thank you very much. Join me next time for another episode.